Hello everyone and welcome back to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to build an old orphanage. In the Sims 4, this will use all of the packs that are currently out. I didn't restrict myself, and of course it is inspired by old English manors or even manors that we have here in Germany, so I guess this is kind of a European thing again. And yeah, this has been requested multiple times, an orphanage or a boarding school or asylum. I kind of thought this is all build-wise the same, so here it goes, guys. I really hope that you're gonna like this, and without further ado, let's get started. So we start in Brindleton Bay. This is the world that you get with the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. It's a beautiful world, and this is a lot that has kind of its own fencing already in the front with a little fountain. And I thought, okay, so I don't really have to do that, like the whole entryway drive-in to the house is already there in the world. And this is like a perfect lot because you have this view to the ocean, and I just thought it's like it's kind of like a nice, lot. So especially for this, you can already see me that I placed some walls in the beginning, or like in the left and right lower corner. These are my building tools, so to speak, because I already tried to find all of the windows and doors that I wanted to use here, and also the columns. By the way, this is a requested lot. I mean, lots of you have asked for asylums or boarding schools, but I think I never got the request for an orphanage. That was Mila who requested that under my community tab, where I asked you guys what you want to see in The Sims 4, and I really like that idea, especially now that the orphanage challenge, there are, by the way, multiple ones in The Sims 4. So if you are kind of bored now that you are maybe in lockdown like I am here in Germany, I thought maybe some of you want to try out some challenges, and I'm going to build the houses for that. And yeah, there is the orphanage challenge. There are different rules, I guess, like lots and lots of people have tried to change them, whatever. I just thought orphanage for me sounds like an interesting build because it's for most, of course, not a family build. So I was like, yay, let's not do a family house again. Who needs them? And especially since my last renovation was kind of like a family house, I'm kind of free now to do weirder stuff again that is more in my interest point, so to speak. And yeah, just gonna hope that you are going to like this here as well. So, this whole house has 2 stories. At least 2 stories are going to be usable. The whole roofing, and later on there will also be a kind of like a tower, are not usable or not accessible. Of course, as always, I will put the download link in the video description down below, so you can download this for free and put into your game and do whatever you want with that. I already know that lots of people were gonna maybe renovate this and change a little bit. Feel free to do so. And of course, I think it's possible to also gain access, slam like a stair somewhere, so you can gain access to the 3rd floor as well, or the tower even. But yeah, I just thought this is also already like a massive build, and since you can only have up to 8 Sims, that means maybe 7 kids and 1 adult. Yeah, I think this is like enough space for all of them, honestly. It is, of course, inspired by old English manors, and like from the, I would say, is this Belle Epoque? Maybe even older. There were some things that I definitely wanted to have, is like these Gothic arched windows that came with Strangerville. We will basically use them everywhere because in my opinion they look amazing here. And I also wanted to experiment with the roofing here, which is basically just a gabled roof, but I made the facade look a little bit more interesting by mixing in some half walls so that the roofs basically have this intricate design. I'm really bad at explaining this. You can see it. You could already see it in the intro. But yeah, in my opinion, this looks really, really cool. And when I was building this, as you can already see, I always do the exterior first and don't mind like what's going to be in the inside, which basically is a really dumb thing to do, but this is always how I've done this in The Sims 4. that later on I usually take up like 1 hour at least to have a good layout so that your Sims can reach everything, that all of the rooms are proportioned well enough, etc. I myself am always building from the outside. You know, I always build like, oh, this would be cool. It would be cool to have like a little gable here or a little annex there, la 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 la. And this is how I basically build my houses, especially these ones. And then later on I just change the interior to my liking, basically. So yeah, I'm just gonna hope that you are going to like this as well. It is very intricate, but I also not overdid it, at least in my opinion, because I didn't use that many friezes, only on these octagonal side rooms and annexes that this kind of style of house has. I of course looked up lots and lots of Google pictures and architectural sites and like historic sites as well about like history of old English royalty, etc. And I just thought this looks really, really cool. This is exactly what I want to have for an orphanage or boarding school. At this point, I was still not sure if it's an asylum, an orphanage, or a boarding school. I just assumed, because I've already done an asylum, by the way. It's called Arkham Asylum. I will put the link in the download, like in the video description down below. But yeah, I just thought boarding school, yeah, well, you can't really have school in Sims. It doesn't work on a residential lot. So we all thought it's maybe better to have an orphanage because there's this gameplay, etc. And I just thought, yeah, that makes sense. So here we are already in the landscaping. As you can see, I used the Jungle Adventure wallpaper. That one actually for these kinds of manors is really cool because there is only one of these. I think it's like 3 or 4 different wallpapers that came with Jungle Adventures. And for those who don't know, this is like a pack that, you know, there are like Aztec, Maya, like South American kind of temples and I don't know, like old ruins that you can visit. But there is this wallpaper that has kind of like moss. It's like kind of like mossy with smaller bricks. And I thought this looks amazing. I don't even have to put that much greenery around on the wall, which I even did to kind of simulate ivy crawling up to the house. But I really like that wallpaper. So for those who want to build that or something like that and have the Jungle Adventure pack, that was a big surprise to me to use that wallpaper, but it is really, really cool and I personally really like it. But yeah, the landscaping is quite simple in my opinion. I only used geometric shapes here. I basically really again looked up how they have their gardens. Usually they're just really lots of big meadows, you know, really meticulous meadows and like not that much of, you know, gardens and stuff. Maybe far, I don't know, but I thought, okay, let's do this a little bit more, I would say halfway creepy. I wanted to go with a little bit of creepy, but then again I thought maybe for gameplay, because Sims usually look kind of colorful, as you know, like the Sims themselves. Kind of always breaks the whole immersion of my build when I do everything in black and gray. I wanted to have at least some greenery. We are also not going to use any cobwebs because in my opinion I wanted it to build as if it's like a orphanage in use. But one of my goals was to kind of emulate maybe the, you know, like 30s, 40s, so to speak, in the interior design. So I couldn't go as crazy on the outside as well, because I just thought maybe as an orphanage gardener or whatever, maybe it's just a butler, you don't have that much time to, you know, just have a meadow outside and some trees, that's it. So it's kind of very boring almost, but I tried to make it as meticulous as possible with just like 3 or 2 bushes and that's it. Here we are already in the interior design. As you can see, I already did so long I was working on this layout, and yeah, here's something that I absolutely like. The interior design is my favorite of this whole house. Oh, I'm so proud of this because it has lots and lots of this wooden paneling. I think this is even base game. And then I used lots and lots of spandrels on the ceiling and lots of these columns to kind of have this meticulous, you know, wood cutting ornamented stuff all over the place, because these old houses have that in the interior design. We don't have that as like just a wallpaper or just a floor, so we kind of have to simulate that, and you can see that I put in spandrels here to have that on the ceiling. I also have like some nice separation for, I don't know, like for the rooms or for the sectioning in the rooms, by just not doing it with the, I mean, I also did this with the flooring, but I also thought with the spandrels it's kind of nice. And I especially love that whole entry hallway thing, which with the big stairs, it looks absolutely amazing. Stay tuned till the video tour, because I'm so proud of this. The interior design, I basically had already quite dark floors and you know, like wallpaper, like the wooden paneling. So I thought to not make this as haunted and, you know, like creepy gothic, but like kind of into the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children kind of vibe. We go with a little bit more colorful interior design, or at least like colorful textiles, because I want this to be old. So the, you know, built-in stuff is kind of old looking and dark. But the interior is kind of more, colorful. So we have like a bluish office with a desk. I think this is not possible, like your Sims can reach there, but since this is like 30s, 40s, I thought, okay, let's do this without any technology. So there isn't even like a PC, so your Sims can't even do anything on the table. So that's a highly decorational one, but I think you can use it by just deleting 2 columns that I used on the walls. Here we are in the living room, which had a really wonky design. So I have one sitting place. I call it just a sitting place because I'm not sure what you would call it either way. But there's like one sitting place around the fireplace. And then there is on the behind side where I thought that the children or whoever lives there, you know, can, you know, maybe paint or learn their instruments, stuff like that, with a little bit more of space in the middle. But then I thought, okay, let's put like a little table. So in the end I will put a little table in the middle there as well. So it is quite, I really like how this all turned out, like the whole interior design. Of course, this is not how if I would inherit like a house like that, I think I would even keep everything like that, because it's like such a history deep thing. But I love how it turned out. It definitely screams Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, or I don't know, like all these English estates, you know. So yeah, the downstairs is quite normal, so to speak. I think the only thing that makes this an orphanage will be upstairs with the 2 dorm rooms and 1 classroom. But yeah, if you want to do like your English royalty gameplay, family gameplay, just, you know, redecorate the dorms and the classroom, and there you go. You have a really good, you know, old manor for your Sims, in my opinion. Oh, by the way, behind the fireplace, behind the living room, there is of course a little winter garden kind of thing. I just thought that would be really nice for the Sims to learn gardening. There are these 2, I think these are bonsai trees from the base game, so you can use that to learn gardening. Of course, there are some flower planters, or like planters in general, so your Sims can do the gardening. I really tried to put in as many activity stuff, because you guys always request that, to learn skills, etc. And since we don't have that many electronics here, actually none at all, I just thought, okay, they of course have already some electricity, so we have some, you know, normal light bulbs and like some nice chandeliers from the 20s. But yeah, it's all a little bit mixed up, but that's normal in these kinds of houses, because they are so old, and over the centuries, of course, stuff gets added and taken out, etc. So you have this interesting mix of different epochs, like different styles throughout the years, and it's all mixed together, and I really, really like this. Here's one of the only bedroom downstairs, which is hidden behind, I basically used lots of these hidden doorways that look like bookshelves. So this is like a door that looks like a bookshelf on one side, and I really like that, so we have that a lot here. So yeah, we have like 1 bedroom downstairs. Maybe that's for the nicer, I don't know, keeper, teacher, whatever. And then upstairs we will have like a black dark one for maybe the strict teacher. I don't know. I just thought I'm going to experiment a lot here with the colorful swatches that some of these objects have, just to make it look not as super creepy, but have this quirky whimsical, but not too much, you know. It was kind of like a different thing to do, to basically come up with not like cluttering up with all of Realm of Magic, which is very colorful, but have like walk the thin line between peculiar and have like crazy whimsical cute, you know. So yeah, this is what I came up with, and in my opinion it looks really good. I can also see this being like something from the Harry Potter movies, by the way. Like, this is totally the style. And yeah, I think the only room that is quite, I would say, bright is the kitchen. But we have, by the way, in all of the bathrooms and in the kitchen have like a really rundown floor, and we will have some splotches that kind of look as if nobody has ever cleaned this as well. So there will be, I think, about 5 or 6 bathrooms. There will be quite a lot of bathrooms, so it is really good for gameplay, in my opinion, because people keep complaining I don't put in that many bathrooms and I never show them. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry, there are your bathrooms, no problem. So there will be different ones. I'm not sure if I'm going to show this because I never show my bathrooms. I'm sorry. But they are so boring, and these are like usually things I do while doing the layout, because it's like, I don't need to show the bathrooms. But some of you guys have already told me like, oh my god, you have to show the bathrooms, they're so important. So yeah, I will try my best to at least show one bathroom once. So yeah, the kitchen is quite simple. We go with green here. I really like that green kitchen. I think this is from the Vampire pack, and I think the wallpaper is also from Jungle Adventures. Basically, Jungle Adventures has lots of run-down kind of stuff. In my opinion, that's a really good pack for these kinds of builds. I was really surprised how much of the build stuff from Jungle Adventures you can actually use in something that has nothing to do with South American temples. So yeah, this is like an interesting crossfit in my opinion. But yeah, I really liked it. Here we are with the upstairs already. This is the classroom. I only built one because basically you can't really use it. I mean, your Sims can't really teach in The Sims 4, not yet. Maybe we get like a pack for that, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just thought, okay, like a small little classroom, you know, kind of have it like an orphanage. I just assume they're not going to school, they get homeschooled. Especially if we are here in the 30s, 40s, where probably there is like no school around. Maybe war has bombed all of the schools or something. You know, stuff like that happens. I mean, I've talked to my grandma. This is just what happened back in the days. You had like no school because they were gone. Dark times. So yeah, maybe this is also like in this kind of era, you know. So yeah, there are like lots of things that kind of make it look like a classroom. Of course, there's like a skeleton and the elements thing, and I don't know, like a potions thing. So yeah, it kind of looks like a nice quirky classroom. Here's one of the bathrooms with like separate toilets and some single showers. Some of the bathrooms have a bathtub shower kind of thing. So yeah, they're really, really different. Some can be used by multiple Sims and not get embarrassed, and some are basically actually just like, you know, for one Sim use at one of the time. But maybe you have some kids that are siblings. I'm not sure if the Sims game is okay with that, like multiple siblings using one bathroom. I think it is. See, I don't even know. And here we are in the decorating of the hall. My favorite, the hall. I love that hallway. By the way, guys, I really fell in love with this build. Like this, you guys always keep asking what kind of builds are like my favorites. This is definitely one where this is my favorite. I know this is kind of quirky and like not the, you know, the Beverly Hills mansion, but this is something that I personally think is hard to do in The Sims 4, like to build this and decorate this accordingly. In my opinion, this is like one of my favorites. Like this is my personal favorite build. Definitely. Even made me try to test an orphanage. So I will do that like on the side. I will not record it because let's be honest, I will get bored after one episode and not record anything. But I will test this as an orphanage and kind of see, you know, how life is. Oh my god, this is kind of, it's just so beautiful. And yeah, the bedrooms, are the dorms, so to speak, are only 2. I just assumed you already have so many beds, so you can only have that many Sims living on the property. So yeah, there's like one bedroom that is that has like green bedding, and the other one will basically look the same but has like reddish bedding. So I will decorate everything as if the kids have been living there. It is an orphanage after all, and it is, you know, like a nice one. They really want the kids to blossom there, so to speak. So I will put in lots of toys and kind of like old-timey stuff where I think that kind of fits the theme here. Lots of the toys these days look quite, I would say, modern, so that we have like lots of robots and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I don't feel that. So I was kind of restricted with the toys. Kind of always when I do like kids rooms, I'm always like surprised how less of the objects we have and we can use. So I feel the struggle that people have that love to play with the kids in the game. I hate to play with kids in the game, but I feel your struggle, guys. Like I think I understand it now, and I'm sorry for you. I don't know, maybe the Sims team will do something about that, but I really like how the dorms turned out. There are sufficient beds, so to speak, and yeah, if you want to, you can always change one of the bigger bedrooms for the adults into one of the dorms as well, or like a single shoe kind of dorm where like the super contaminated kid can play in. I don't know. Also, it would be so much fun to listen to, or like at least read your comments, what kind of children live there, or what kind of people live there, what is your story, because that I will try out to play with, you know, and like kind of create Sims for that. Maybe you're interested in even me creating some Sims. Like, I haven't done that for ages now, but I think that would be quite cool in my opinion. Yeah, maybe I do that. Like, I'm not sure. I will look into that. And maybe create some orphanage children or something. And yeah, here we are in some, this is another bedroom, like I said, for maybe the bad teacher, like evil teacher, not bad, but maybe she's a little bit more evil or stricter. You know that guy, you know, the typical evil stepmom kind of Cinderella thing. That's the one I was trying to do this year, but maybe also somebody else, I'm not sure. Here we are already in the video tour of this whole build, guys. I love it. It looks so good. I'm really happy how it turned out. The roofing was giving me a little bit of headache, and that means a lot because I'm usually quite good with roofing, in my opinion. But the whole halfways was something sometimes sticking through the eaves and stuff. Like, it was a little bit more fiddly even than other intricate roofing that I usually do. And this is quite, you know, boring roofing. But yeah, I really like how overgrown it looks, even though it's not that overgrown. That's just a wallpaper for you guys. But yeah, still, since there's like not of many flowers, but we have these flower vase pots things on these pedestals and stuff. And it kind of looks really nice in my opinion. There's still lots and lots of room in the garden to maybe put a playground in. I honestly myself thought maybe you put a bunker in because World War II, you know, that would have been dark. To maybe turn this a little bit darker, I don't know. Maybe I will do this myself later or so. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. It is very detailed again. Some things don't add up to the style that I went with. For example, these front porch things for the doors. That's nothing that these houses would have. But I just needed to do that because I think it looks so much nicer. Now, production design wise, I had some freedoms here. And here is the inner hallway. Oh my god, I love this hallway. It looks so dark and creepy, and with all of these spandrels and like the wooden ornaments and paneling. I love it. I really love it. And it's not that creepy though. Like, it is looking like, you know, like an old manor or mansion. I just love it. Just beautiful. And yeah, I absolutely am in love with it. It's definitely one of my favorite builds that I did in the last days. So this is something that I personally think is harder to build, just takes a lot of more time to do all this intricate spandrels in the inside, and the roofing was kind of tricky, and you know, all these kind of little details that make it look kind of old-timey, you know, run through the centuries basically. And I love that. I think it's something, I hate the white ceilings, but this is just a Sims 4 for you. Maybe at some point we can get at least mirrored floors to the ceiling. That would be cool. Like if I know that this floor that I put in the room will also be up on the ceiling, that would be nice for me. I'm okay with that. But yeah, the white ceiling is the only thing where I was like, doesn't look as good now. Maybe at some point we get like a normal ceiling. So yeah, this is the kitchen is quite wonky, but maybe you have only vampires living there and they don't use the kitchen. So I have some freedom here, of course, you know. I think one of my favorite rooms is definitely the living room and of course the hallway. I'm also quite happy with the color choices in the very interesting dining room with the blue, you know, tablecloth. So yeah, you can really see that sometimes I try to have wonky color choices to make it not look as dark and gothic, you know, kind of up cheery and whimsical. And yeah, I really like that about the whole house. I think that's something that really adds to it, in my opinion. If you have any suggestions what I should build next, or should I really create the Sims for this? I'm not sure. I'm not that good at this, but I could try without any CC. I still think you can do a lot because I have all of the packs and you don't really need that many CC these days. I of course know that not everyone has all of the packs, but maybe it's interesting for you guys. So yeah, just let me know in the comments down below, and also write down some cool stories who lives there, because I really want to try this out now that I have to be at home. This would be perfect for me to play some Sims. And yeah, if you want to download this, the download link is in the video description down below. It is up on the Sims 4 gallery called Orphanage, I think. But the download link is also going to the gallery, so you can find it way much easier. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you like this. Please subscribe to my channel if you like Sims 4 builds. It's free, of course. And yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.